Hey there, thanks for joining me on Chuco Chuckle. This is Arnie once again. What is going on, El Paso? This is Arnie again with Chuco Chuckle, and with me today is Nate Valenzuela, my karaoke DJ. What's going on, Nate?
What's up, Arnie?
Hey, can I call you Nate or Nathan? What do you want?
You know what, Nate? Something that
You're used to it.
I didn't ever sign off on it, or never wrote Nate in high school. I think all my family calls me Nathan. But now, like, if somebody says Nathan, I probably won't even turn around. Everyone's like,
that's like me and Arnold. So it's like, nobody calls me Arnold anymore. So yeah,
you wouldn't even know who's calling you.
That had to be somebody from grade school.
Exactly.
So speaking of, you're born and raised in El Paso, right?
Right, born and raised.
First question is, what high school?
What high school did I go to?
I know you listen to the show.
I'm an East Sider. I went to Eastwood, El Paso's finest. So,
all right.
Sorry, everybody.
The troopers.
Yeah, born and raised on the East Side, but don't discriminate. You'll see.
You love El Paso, I know you do.
You know, I've lived outside of El Paso. I was gone for about.
Where'd you live?
You know what? I first right off moved to California, Palm Springs area. And then from there, it just took on a whole nother. I lived in Denver, Seattle. I lived in New Jersey, New York, and then around Texas. Yeah, I used to work for Cinemark.
Okay.
And I was like a corporate trainer, so we moved around a lot.
Nice. How was that?
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was literally like, people always tell me like, you should get out of El Paso. I was like, I did. Like it was my early years.
Yeah.
But like everybody says, home. El Paso will always be home.
Yeah, you always come home.
You always come home. And some people say it's a cop out. Well, that's just what people say that didn't make it. I'm like, no. I was like, I've lived there. I've lived in the Calis, and I've lived in the the East Coast.
I lived in Central Texas. Lived there 8 years.
Right.
Loved it. And I love Central Texas because everything's close. Dallas, San Antonio, Austin, everything. So Slitterbone, I love Slitterbone. But you've been everywhere, and you come back. But
came back to the East Side.
Came back to the East Side. Now I called you karaoke DJ, and I know we had this conversation before. You said that. I don't like to be called a karaoke DJ. You
know what?
It's not that you don't like it, but...
So I have friends that are DJs, and I feel like, it would be an insult if they knew, you know what I mean? And some of my closest friends are DJs, and what they do...
It's a different ballgame.
Versus what I do. I mean, it's just like, I tell people, I'm like, no, literally. Like, they're going to train like a monkey to do what I can do. Like... The public tells me what to do. You guys walk up, you give me a song, and I play it. DJs, they're always like in their own head. They're like thinking of the next song. They're reading the crowd. They're like, I'm going to shorten this song. I'm going to blend this song. And I don't do that. I don't have like turntables and big, headphones and all that. And they have a talent. And I think in retrospect, I would be upset if my DJ friends were going around saying they were karaoke people. They were karaoke. So
you're a host.
Yes. And I've been corrected on this. I've had karaoke DJs who are like, well, you're a KJ. I'm like, I'm not jockeying anything. I consider myself like a host.
Because you do play songs in between, but.
So I guess the best, if it were to put into title, it's like a master of ceremonies. So I can be like an MC.
Okay.
But that's just so cheesy. So I'm just like, I'm just Nate. And I have a gig coming up. And I guess I can mention this because it's already official. But we'll be doing the district on Piedras. It'll be an 8:30 a.m. show.
8:30 a.m. show.
That's what we've decided on.
Okay.
It's already existed, but the GM there, she said, well, what's your DJ name? And I was like, well, I don't really have one. And she said, well, I think we're just going to create one for you because, like everybody here has a DJ name. And I was like, okay. I was like, but I'm not a DJ. I just put that
just throw that in.
Yeah, just throw that in there. Like, I'm not a DJ.
It's going to be 8:30 to what time?
We probably going to go to about lunchtime. I'd say about 12.
12?
Yeah.
Okay, that's right before I have to go to work.
It's that, it's catering to, that night shift, a lot of the medical field that gets out, a lot of those first responders.
Okay.
They have lives too.
Yeah.
And, they get off.
That's when their night begins.
Right. They get off at 7 a.m. and everybody thinks like, oh, 7:01, they go to bed. No, they get off 7, 8 a.m., they've been putting themselves out there like anybody else, any job.
Come on, you can't go to sleep right after you get off work.
Yeah, I would imagine, especially in those fields that you're just working overnight, and just they're
and
so high
seeing
strung.
what they do. Yeah,
just so high strung. You need a break. You need to get out, and whether it be you go to Starbucks or you grab some breakfast. Piedras district has food. They're gonna have
they're
karaoke.
serving food and everything. Wow,
full kitchen open. So I've covered that show before. It's a really fun show. The hardest part is, I'm not a morning person.
Right. Okay.
So if you guys see me out there, in the sunglasses, just, roll with it.
Yeah. Well, I don't go until 12:30.
Yeah.
So I work out at that time.
You have that perfect shift.
It's a perfect pocket shift. Yeah.
When people ask me,
but I work out in the morning though.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll go on Friday and I'll miss my workout.
We'll put some weights there for you.
Whatever it takes, right?
Whatever it takes.
But so that's going to be 8:30. I'm going to pop in.
Yeah.
Because I'm loyal to you.
Right. Okay.
And so, I'm going to go in there.
I do take attendance, so I'll definitely, that's like a joke. People text me, and I'll be working and they'll be like, hey, thinking about going to see you tonight. Who all's there? And I'm like, I'm not taking role people. I was like, I'm not taking attendance. I'm like, oh yeah,
Bob, you've cut me on that one.
Yeah. I'm like
who's there? How's the show? How's the crowd?
Yeah,
and you're like, are you coming through or what?
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm gonna go live, and then you suit your you figure it out.
You figure it out. Yeah. So Friday 8:30 to 12 o'clock. You say?
Yeah,
that's gonna be a fun show. I'm gonna see what that's like.
Like I said, I've covered there about 4 or 5 times, and each time, I would say I've seen as crazy things as I've seen at night.
Oh wow!
They do not discriminate on what time it is. Right? Yeah,
that's El Paso.
That's El Paso. The party's gonna start when the party's gonna start. So,
well, give us a rundown of where you're at day by day. Okay, you've already mentioned Friday, but let's start. I guess Sunday.
Okay, Sunday, I am at Rad, and it's on Montana. It used to be Rubik's. And it's a very arcade place. If you guys have
80s themes,
right? They have one on the west side. They also have one in Las Cruces. Like I said, so we're there on Sundays. Mondays I'm at Gringo Theory. It's also Montana, little
east side, far east,
going a little far east, but it's definitely growing out there. So we've been there for about 8 years. Tuesday, which is our newest show, we're at Shifty's,
newly acquired,
and Thai Tuesday.
Thai Tuesday, yeah. In fact, we're going right after this show. But
yeah,
I've got to change into my suit because that's the only way I'm going to wear a tie.
My fiance asked me, she's like, "You're wearing a tie to the podcast?" I said, "I opened up my mouth last week, and I'm wearing a tie
to the show."
To the show, but it's downtown. It's right next to Church Bar, and really happy for Tony and Yvonne. They've been in the industry. They've helped a lot of people out. They've helped me out, and Wednesdays we're at
shout out to Tony and Yvonne.
Yeah. Wednesdays we're at Lucky Dogs, also on the east side. Most of my shows are on the east side. Okay. Let me just get that out of the way.
Yeah, that's why I hardly go to your shows unless they're downtown or something.
Thursday we're at Funk Myers, also very 80s. They were like one of the first like retro bars, I think, on the east side. They were definitely before, I think, like Rubik's and stuff. And they have free arcades, super popping on the weekends. A lot of people say it's one of my best sounds on Thursdays. Fridays we're at Texas Bar and Cantina, home of Gil and his famous roll tacos.
Those are good. I had those Fridays.
Yeah. And then believe it or not, Saturday is my only day off.
Wow.
For now.
Yeah.
And then we also have 2 other people, which I'll plug our page towards the end.
Okay.
And they also have a lot of shows around town. I think we're at 11, 12 shows. And
they work under you.
Right. And if you're not on the east side, we have shows in the northeast. We have shows in central.
Far east.
And wasn't always like that. Now, when I first started off, I was like, I would take any show. I was on the west side one day. I was in the northeast one day. I was on the far east side one day. And then got a little comfortable. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to stick to the east side, like a 5-mile radius from my house.
Okay, where you could choose, right? Right at that point.
Right, a little bit.
Nice. Now, I do say that your show, and I'm going to say we're spoiled. anybody who goes to your show is spoiled because you're a great host, karaoke host, the DJ, whatever we want to call you, right? We went to California. We went to Disneyland.
Right.
Yeah, you and I and your fiance, Erica. And we had a great time. First time I ever been to Disneyland and used the scooters.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And you said, we're going to use the scooters. Before we even went, you said, you're coming with us. And I put in for my vacation days at work and stuff. And I said, we're going to use scooters. What do you mean? Yeah, like those scooters.
Yeah. And I tell people, I said, look, before it's like a disclaimer. I'm like, I just want you to know we use scooters.
Yeah, that's what you said.
And I was like, and everyone gives me that look. And I'm like, it's a really good deal. We do the thing. We're there like at almost
7 o'clock,
7, 8 a.m. Yeah. And we're there till, the fireworks go and they kick us out.
Yeah.
It's a lot of walking. We did like a 2-day pass. So, I mean, you can imagine the steps. But Erica had a, broken ankle.
Oh, that's right.
She was in a boot. And we just, we said, well, all for one,
that's
one
right.
for all.
Deanna went with us too.
Yeah. All for one for all. We all rented a bunch of, we're the scooter gang.
Yeah, the scooter gang. We look like a motorcycle gang, straight up.
But yeah, it's funny because we did go to karaoke and our expectations were so high.
Because we're in California. La La Land.
And we just got shot down. But I hear that a lot. And I can only attribute that El Paso, it's a double-edged sword.
Okay.
Because there's not a lot to do. Okay. So the things that we have to do, I think we're like masters at it. You know what I mean? So, and I think karaoke, some people are like, well, there's karaoke everywhere. And I'm like, yes. And it's successful. And there's a lot of places to do during the week. And a lot of people do it and they accommodate you. My show is not the only one. I have a lot of great friends in the business and I've made great friends. And I do think that El Paso has a lot of good karaoke versus bigger cities that should have it.
Yeah.
And
they didn't represent. I didn't like the fact when we went to that first place that been around since 1967, whatever, right?
Right.
And we walked in and it looked like it. But anyways, we walked in and the sign-in tablet was way over there and you had to go sign in on a tablet. I'm like, well, who's running the show?
Yeah, I kind of felt like we're
impersonal.
Everybody was looking at us.
Yeah, they did.
How dare you interrupt our 14 singers?
Yeah. Who are you?
Our 14. Yeah. And there's nowhere to sit.
Did you see that?
Yeah, there's nowhere to sit. And I was like, what year is it?
I'm like, what? Why are they staring at us?
Y'all ain't from around here.
You ain't from around here, are you? But it was just kind of weird. And then we went to that other place, signed up, and we could only sign up for one song at a time.
Right.
And I thought, okay, we're
and that guy was
trying to make your job easier.
The guy was a smoker.
Not even a smoker.
A vapor?
No, he just went outside.
He would just go outside.
After every song he'd put on, and he'd just let the singer sing, and he'd go outside.
And then he'd run back in.
Yeah, he'd run back in right before this. Or not even. Sometimes he'd be late.
And that's why I'd say, like, man, I'm doing it all wrong. I'm just spoiling you guys.
You are. You do spoil us. I mean, you stay right there at your station. You're right there.
The mics were terrible.
The mics are terrible.
And like I said, we're just talking about the people. Nobody here. This was out of town. We're visiting.
Right.
And it was rough. And
it was a bad experience.
I had tipped the guy
$40
before we even sat down. Yeah. We were looking for somewhere to sit. And I walked up to him. I said, hey, we're from out of town. I was like, my friends are all going to sign up. Will you take care of them? Nope.
Exactly.
Not even like
you should have poked that money right back out, bro. You should have straight up. I know.
Nah, it's just something that I do. If it
you're a classy guy, Nate.
It's like the hotel trick. You know, when you go to Vegas and you tip the front desk person like a 20, and still give you the worst room. You're like hoping to get
the one by the elevator,
the one by the laundromat. Yeah. So I was like, well, we tried.
It was a bad experience, though. It was like we sang one song.
It was the company. At the end, we really like got to know each other.
Yeah.
Enjoyed ourselves.
We had a great dinner before that. That was great.
The dinner was fantastic.
Yeah. That Italian place. And then we went to we were like, well, we're going to go do some karaoke. And then.
Yeah, we were stoked.
We were.
Everybody at that table did karaoke.
Yeah.
But me.
And it was just exciting to be in LA doing karaoke, but we sang one song and that was it.
Yeah. And the stigma, you think like, wow, LA karaoke, it's probably people just, who have an audition tomorrow and they want to look and sound their best.
They might get discovered tonight.
And, the DJs are probably, top of their game and have the latest and greatest mics and speakers and
nada.
No.
Didn't happen.
No, he's like playing out of the jukebox speaker.
So seriously, I mean, you really need to go catch Nathan's show. Any of those locations that he mentioned, and just if you need to hear it again, just rewind the podcast and just go back and hear it, because his show is worth it, and I'm not going to lie about that. And I've been to other shows, and I have some great friends that are doing the same thing you're doing. Megan's one of them. And,
yeah, Sean and Megan, great people.
And Sam's a good show. He's on Tuesday nights, but I believe you're going to beat him out, to be honest with you.
Not a fan of Sam.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he knows that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no love lost. But
there's a Sam on the east side, and he's been doing it like generations. I think his dad did it.
Oh, wow.
And then him and his brother did it. We were just talking the other day. And it's called TriStar Karaoke because there was 3 of them. And he's been doing it for a long time. And he looks great. You think you look young, you need to meet this guy.
I don't think I look young.
You need to meet this guy, Sam. He told me his age. And I don't know if you want that out there.
Go ahead.
Sam, you're 70 years old.
Wow.
And he looks amazing. And I was like, wow. But he's been in the business for a long time. And there's people that have been doing it, and then they've like passed the torch, and there's people that stopped doing it. But yeah, man. I mean, for those of you listening, and you're like, whoa, why am I gonna listen to a karaoke episode? I don't sing either.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, I don't sing.
And most do, right?
Most do.
Okay.
I think it's something that comes from like us being a border town.
Okay.
In Mexico, a lot of the karaoke places, the host does sing, so you can write a song on a piece of paper and just give it to them, and they will sing it.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also you can like request that you want to sing it yourself. So I think that's kind of something that may have migrated or not, but I've noticed that in a lot of border towns it's like that. And then I've noticed that in bigger cities where the host is just kind of stays in the corner, takes the request, plays a song, and I'm like, that's about it. It's not the biggest science. So
no, people ask me, why don't you have a show? I said, no, I'd rather just go and just sing.
Yeah, I had referred that there's people, and I'm like, hey, I think you could do it. You should do it. And one of the guys said, was like, no. He's like, I enjoy it more just going to it, being a part of the crowd. And I think I'm that person, like on my days off. Mm-hmm. People are like, what do you do on your day off? And I'm like, unfortunately, karaoke. Because all my friends do karaoke.
Okay.
I don't go sing.
You put part of the crowd.
But the people that I've gone close to support me. So when I'm off, I hang out with those same people like you. And I'm like, what do you guys want to do? Majority of the time, they're like,
we're going to do
let's go do karaoke. And I'm like, okay. And that just happened last week because of our crazy blizzard.
Right. Just no weather.
Or weather that we didn't have, but
that we didn't have.
Didn't have. And I'm like, come on, people. Like, it's the Sun City. But yeah, one of my shows got postponed.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Due to weather.
What is that, Funkmeyer?
That's Funkmeyer, yeah. Okay. Got postponed due to weather. And we were all kind of fine with it because we were like, well, it's a Thursday. It's so close to the weekend. Let's go out.
Let's go do something.
Let's go do something. And, watch a little bit of football. And then after that, we were like, yeah, what do you want to do? And I knew it. I could feel it. And they're like, let's go do karaoke. I was like, all right. And it's, I get to enjoy it to an extent. And
because you're on the outside looking in now.
Because I'm on the outside looking in.
Right.
Now with that, some people, they get a little, I guess, hesitant when they see me walk in. I'm not trying to steal your show.
Okay.
I'm not trying to.
Because they already know you.
They know me. And yeah.
Tell me about, give me an example of that.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give you the karaoke words. You guys are going to hear the good, the bad, and the ugly. So if you know nothing about karaoke or don't do karaoke, listen to this podcast for the dirt and the dirt only. Just kidding. The El Paso Chisme.
Right.
So yes, in the beginning when I first started off, it was very like dog eat dog kind of.
Very competitive.
It was very competitive. Nobody really
cutthroat.
Talked to each other. If they did, it was their own cliques and stuff like that. And I was a new guy and I was the outsider, and I wasn't trying to do anything different. I started off already like with rivalries and on a bad foot. And I remember I'd walk in and people would be like, "Oh, he's here to take my show," or "He's here to spy on me."
Talk about fear. Go ahead.
And yes. And you know me, I'm very blunt, and very
straightforward.
Very straightforward. I don't have a filter. And I just remember walking up to a guy and I had to show him like a text message. And I was like, if I wanted your show, I would have taken it when they offered it to me a year ago. And he had no idea that they had tried to, shop around for a show.
Right.
And I'm like, here's a message of your bar, your manager asking me to take your show. And I said,
while you were still doing your show.
Yeah. And I was like, no, you know what? And people have asked, and I've walked in there and I said, I'm not a fan of, taking from anybody else's show. I said, I'll walk in there. I'm no person to judge, nor am I an expert, but if I see something they could improve on, I will gladly let you know. And I have. And most of my answer has been respectfully. I just tell the owner or manager, I'm like, there's nothing that they're doing that I could do any different. Because people are always going to favor their KJ. They're always there's going to be a little bit of backlash. Why did you get rid of him and hire her? And, I've left.
We don't like this guy.
Yeah. And it's going to happen everywhere. But, there's just some places where you look at them and like, yeah, I get it. You want to revamp your bar. You think they're stale. And I get it. But I don't think I'll ever be that like solution.
Nah. I would have really loved to see you at the Reagan.
It's coming.
Not saying that it's not coming, right? I'm just saying we had that meeting.
We had a meeting with the Reagan, and I don't know when this is going to air, but when it does air, we will. I'm
going to put you on next. I'm going to put you on probably in a week or so.
We're going to do a free show there.
Okay.
And that's what I like to do with people. Some bars that are hesitant or they just don't know me.
Right.
And the Reagan's a beautiful bar.
It is. It really is. Nice venue.
Very nice venue. Very classy.
Right in the heart of downtown.
Downtown, which a lot of people still, Paso, get out of your shell. Eventually, you're going to get downtown. It's free parking, I think, after 6 or 8 or something like that.
Meters, you don't feed the meters after 6.
It's just the stigma. There's a stigma everywhere. If you're going to decide against it, find a way around it. I think that's like the best way.
I like what you said though. Get out of your shell.
Yeah, get out of your shell.
Get out of your east side shell.
Get out of your east side shell. We've all lived in bigger cities. We talked about it earlier. And
sorry you hear that dog barking in the background.
Oh yeah, it's my dog in my car.
You left him in the car. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. It's my dog telling me I need to move. Pay my meter. But yes, we've some people haven't lived in bigger cities, so that 12-minute traffic ride downtown scares them. And I tell people, I'm like, count your exits. Downtown's like 7-8 exits away.
Dude, you told me you were coming from your place, and you live on the east side, and you said, I'm on my way. I said, great, be safe. Dude, you were here like in 10 minutes.
Yeah. And it's
literally,
it's a straight shot. You jump on the freeway and take an exit. But I tell people, I'm like, count your exits. Don't count your minutes. Count your exits.
Wow.
You know what I mean? If it's 8 exits away, that's not a lot.
It's not.
You're in Dallas. You're like 3 tollways, 12 cities, and 92 exits away from your next destination.
Wow. That's a good point.
Yeah. And so
we're spoiled here. We really are. People don't know.
We're spoiled with, rent and food everywhere and prices.
This is why I moved downtown to these apartments because, look at that view.
It's a great view.
Seriously, look at that. This is what I work with.
Yeah, it's really nice.
I'm never moving. I'm serious. I'm never moving.
I'm going to win the lottery. I'm going to buy this complex.
Buy the whole complex.
Just knock the wall down.
Yeah. Make a huge suite here. But yeah, I love it. I love it. I love the view. I love the downtown vibe. That's why I'm really looking forward to the Reagan.
Right. Really. And, they don't know me and it's so hard, karaoke is one.
But they know me.
Karaoke is one night out of the week, and you're trying to sell yourself.
Yeah.
So you sit there and you're like, yeah, you know what? Like, I want you to pay me, 52 nights out of the year. So we're gonna give
50. Let's take 50.
We're gonna
take
give
2 weeks off.
we're gonna give them a free show, and hope you guys can make it. And with that, again, it keeps the tradition of karaoke going, gives people something to do, keeps downtown nightlife growing, and I'm glad that they're giving us that window.
What's the name of your production team?
So 2025, I launched a new name, and it's El Paso Karaoke Association. So you guys can type that in on Facebook. You can type it in on Instagram, and you'll see our logo.
All right.
When I first started off,
I don't need to worry about that because I got you on my messenger.
Yeah, it really,
I actually got you on my contacts, and we don't even text each other. It's weird.
When I first started off, I started off with a partner. I did not want to do karaoke. We'll just get that out of the way.
Okay.
And then that kind of went, like south.
Okay.
And then I started my company called Stay Tuned Productions. STP 915. You can still, if you're really, really bored. But when people are like, well, what got you into karaoke? And I'm like, spite. That's really what got me into karaoke. Spite is that.
And you can't return close for spite, but you can start a karaoke for spite. That's a Seinfeld reference, by the way.
Going into 2025, and I have 2 people that work for me, and they're great. And if they stay with me, great. If they venture off by themselves, great. And if they, one day just say like, it's not for me. Also whatever path they choose. But at the moment,
that's up to them.
The moment's up to them, and they're doing a great job. But I just needed, something that's a little bit more commercial, and that's really what it is, guys. You got to understand, branding is branding.
Mm-hmm. No matter what you do. Yeah.
You can have your favorite name, but if it sucks and it doesn't make sense, and you're just like, nobody even knows. Like,
I'm trying to have this podcast take off.
Yeah.
But well, I know a lot of people.
You got to put more chuckle in your chuco. You should have 2 podcasts, Ernie.
I should.
You should have a church. A Chuco church and a Chuco chuckle.
A Chuco church because of my abundant association.
Because you have a very strong faith, and I think that's a great part. Okay. And then you do have like the chuckle part. Now I have friends that
funny at church too, though.
I have friends that are comedians, and they would be like, "That guy's probably should have like a church podcast." But you know what? If we could marry the 2, then you're onto something.
Yeah, I just can't have any cussing though. I can have like a
Well, see, that's and people that work that are Arnie's worship.
And you're doing great, by the way.
People that are Arnie's worship, you need to talk to them. You need to be like, God sees all. Me and Arnie, we talked about this, and we were like, I don't know, Arnie. It's because even when I'm at karaoke, I get on the mic and I'm just like, oop. I used to just slip.
Yeah.
And then this would be like a very like no filter. And then that's kind of what got me in a little bit of like my show different from everyone else's.
Okay.
Is I would roast them a little bit. And for those of you that think like, well, I don't want to go sing and make fun of me. No, it's not anything like that. You get to know the people I'm with.
Yeah.
And, that's the...
I love when you make fun of me too. It's fun.
Right.
Yeah.
You just have to humble, some people.
You got to have thick skin if you're going to be singing with me.
Especially Arnie. You got to humble Arnie a little bit. Arnie has a podcast with his $1,000 mics and his, $800.
They're not $1,000 mics.
Earpieces. Yeah, I'm staring at it.
It's not $1,000 mic.
And then Arnie walks into my show with his, he's been studying and listening, and he's got his tone a certain way, and he's been at worship. And by the way, Abundant has probably, I'd say, easily $1 million worth of equipment in there.
Oh, they have a great worship team.
Then he comes to my little rinky-dinky show, and he's just like, I really need you to turn your mic down. No. And I'm like, you know what, Arnie? You really need to humble yourself a little bit. But
I come in with my in-ears because I want to hear the songs between songs.
He comes in with his earpieces on, and I'm like,
because I'm listening to what I'm going to sing.
Like, Arnie, go to the bar, relax, take your earpieces out, unbutton your top button, and relax.
That top button's in no man's land.
Yeah. Another Seinfeld.
Seinfeld reference.
So anyway, I tell people, like, first of all, if you're gonna leave the house, like, bring your expectations down. You know what I mean?
That's good.
If you leave the house and you think you're gonna get there on time and get every green light and front row parking, come on. Leave the house knowing you're gonna get the train.
You heard the train?
Yeah. Knowing that
33 times a day.
Knowing that you're gonna get that, that Fronchi license plate in front of you that doesn't know how to drive, knowing that you're not gonna get there on time. There was an accident. You said I got here in 10 minutes?
Yeah.
There was an accident on the freeway.
Oh, there's one every day. I'm a big fan of FitFam, and there's one reported like every 6 hours.
The left lane was closed. When I still got here.
Yeah.
Like 10 minutes.
You made it, easily. You're a great driver.
So I tell people, get out, lower your expectations, and when you do that, anything will be a highlight. Every little moment.
Oh yeah.
Every
it's
little
a plus.
every little moment will be like a blessing.
Absolutely. Dude, we're out of time. You want to do a second episode?
Yeah, we'll do another one.
All right, we're going to take a break here. We're going to come back and do a second episode.
Yeah.
We're going to probably run these back to back.
Stand by for the dirt, okay? we were good on this one. The next one, stand by.
What? Dirt coming? Oh, no. Well, thanks for joining me on Chuco Chuckle this week. And that's Nate Valenzuela. Nate, say hi again.
Hi, MC.
We're gonna play. We're gonna plug his stuff again on the next episode. So make sure you join us. Thanks for joining us on Chuco Chuckle. Take care, y'all. Bye bye.